In the heart of central Mexico, on islands in a vast lake, rose one of the America's greatest civilizations, the Aztec Empire. Known as the Mexica, they arrived in the valley as poor migrants in the 13th century. According to legend, their god Huitzilopochtli promised a homeland, the sign, an eagle on a cactus devouring a snake. When they saw the vision in 1325, they founded their capital, Tenochtitlán. At first a small settlement in a swampy lake, but within 2 centuries it grew into one of the largest, most breathtaking cities on Earth. Built on an island, Tenochtitlan was crisscrossed with canals and causeways, supplied with fresh water by impressive aqueducts. Within 200 years it may have held more than 200,000 people, larger than many European capitals of its time. Its centerpiece was the Templo Mayor, a great pyramid rising above the city, dedicated to gods of war and rain, the political and spiritual heart. It dominated life and ritual in the empire. Through conquest and alliances, the Triple Alliance, the Mexica expanded across central Mexico, ruling millions and collecting tribute. Subject cities sent maize, cacao, cotton, feathers, gold, and captives taken for sacrifice. Aztec society was highly structured: nobles, priests, warriors, merchants, artisans, farmers, and slaves. Every child received education, young men trained in history, religion, and war, young women in domestic skills and textile work. They developed poetry, philosophy, astronomy, and mathematics, recorded in painted codices. Their language, Nahuatl, gave the world words we still use: chocolate, tomato, avocado, cacao. Tlatelolco market drew tens of thousands daily. At the core of their worldview was a cosmic vision: the sun needed nourishment. Priests kept twin calendars, one solar, one ritual, guiding life and destiny. To maintain cosmic balance, the sun required nourishment in the form of human blood and hearts, a belief central to religion. To outsiders, this seemed shocking. To the Aztecs, it was sacred duty. Alongside sacrifice, festivals honored Quetzalcoatl, Tlaloc, and others. Priests served as astronomers and philosophers. Their ritual and solar calendars shaped civic life, a city of canals, temples, and markets, dazzling, complex, and alive. Daily life was rich: maize tortillas, beans, squash, chiles, chocolate, even insects as protein. Markets bustled with trade and color. Artisans made featherwork, pottery, and gold ornaments of extraordinary skill. These goods were symbols of status and devotion. Warriors gained prestige by capturing enemies alive. Elite orders like Eagle and Jaguar Knights were icons of power. Military skill and ritual purpose overlapped. Ingenious agriculture, chinampas or floating gardens, fed the huge population. Education was universal. History, religion, and skills were taught to shape citizens and warriors. Priests were astronomers. Rituals, calendars, and festivals structured time and politics. Public life was theatrical and sacred. They recorded histories and rituals in painted codices, a written memory of a complex society. Trade networks connected highlands and coasts. Cacao and luxury goods moved across regions. Neighborhoods thrummed with daily rhythms: food stalls, artisans, and waterways as thoroughfares. They used herbal medicine and diverse diets. Insects and native plants provided protein and nutrition. Law and order governed relationships. Social roles could be defined but not wholly fixed. Ability in war or trade could change status. Engineering feats, causeways, and stonework made island life practical and grand. They developed poetry and philosophy, performed publicly and preserved in oral and painted form. Textiles and crafts were central, both practical and ceremonial. Privilege and labor coexisted, wealth and ceremony, and the realities of tribute and obligation. A society vibrant in craft, belief, and daily life, preparing the stage for dramatic encounters to come. In 1519, Hernán Cortés arrived on the coast with a small force of Spaniards. They carried steel weapons, cannons, and horses unfamiliar to the Americas. Many subject peoples allied with the Spaniards, peoples who had suffered under Aztec rule. Emperor Moctezuma II greeted Cortés with caution, unsure whether these were gods or men. Tensions mounted quickly. In 1520, the Night of Sorrows saw Spaniards driven from the city, suffering heavy losses, but a more deadly force arrived: disease, smallpox, and other illnesses unknown to the population. Thousands died, including warriors and leaders. By 1521, Cortés returned with a large indigenous coalition. Months of siege, famine, and disease wore the city down. After desperate fighting and starvation, Tenochtitlan fell in the summer of 1521. Temples were toppled, canals filled, the city was destroyed. On its ruins, the Spanish built Mexico City, a new capital over an old one. Though the empire lasted less than 2 centuries, its impact endured in language, food, art, and identity. The eagle and cactus on Mexico's flag comes from the Aztec foundation myth. Foods and festivals trace back to pre-Columbian roots. Traditions live on in everyday life. Archaeology and scholarship have recovered the city's story from ruins and codices. The story is one of brilliance and tragedy. People who built a dazzling city in a complex cosmos and who were then overwhelmed by conquest and disease. Though conquered, the Mexica never truly disappeared. Their cultural memory shapes Mexico today. Language, food, art, and identity. The Aztec legacy endures in festivals, recipes, and national symbols. This was the story of the Aztecs, a people who built a city on a lake and left a lasting heritage.